serious thoughts about a fracture of the jaw as we wait round 3 coming up.
Well, regardless of as we wait for the bell for round 3, there it is. Regardless of the speculation about whether or not there is a problem, an injury to the ex-champion, he was right out there in the center of the ring, ready to do battle, as we said, in round 3. Ken Norton coming right after him with continually scoring with his left and trying to follow with the right, which just about grazes the chin of Muhammad Ali.
And you see Ali a little bit more tentative now than he was in the other 2 fights and in the other 2 rounds, and he's also not talking as much. You have to remember he's got probably the finest corner man in the world in Angelo Dundee working his corner. Angelo has a great deal of concern for the fighter. If he thought the jaw was definitely broken, that would be a question of stopping this. At this point, there's no way of knowing, so Ali is going out to do battle again. Norton doesn't suspect that there's anything wrong with Ali, and he's fighting his usual fight, pressuring him. Ali moving away, as you can see, using his float like a butterfly movement, which is not confusing Norton at all. Norton coming on, dragging that right foot behind him, but still able to cut the ring on Ali.
Well, of course, Ali won the title for the first time in '64 when he knocked out Sonny Liston in 7. Inactive, as you said, Ferdy, earlier for 3 years, but now very active. And so is Ken Norton in the dark trunks.
And what we're seeing here is a wonderful example of the footwork that made Muhammad Ali maybe the greatest heavyweight of all time. One of the things that's exceptional is he can go either way. He stops, he does a dance step, he goes to his right, he goes to his left, and all the time flicking out that left jab. That is Muhammad Ali. That is the great fighter that can use mobility to neutralize another man's punching power, which is what he's doing in this round while he collects his thought and gets himself together.
You made reference to him collecting his thought, and as we see him, and you make a good, valid point there, Ferdy, the fact that he is moving. He wasn't moving this much. He wasn't dancing and up on his toes and really using that ring to his advantage, so to speak.
Ali is hurting. Ali is trying to get to the point where he doesn't punch with Norton. Norton's punches are causing some damage on Ali and causing him to hurt. In order to neutralize that, he's got to move around because obviously you can see he's a superior fighter as far as movement is concerned at this point. However, and to Norton's credit, he won't be intimidated. He won't be fooled. He senses there's something wrong and he's coming on. Now that's a good fighter. Of course, this round, Ali must continue to move as he collects his thoughts, as he tries to figure out what is hurt and what's happening.
But I think you can also see some frustration in the face of Norton, and you can see him now sort of looking a little bit confused as we count down the final seconds of round 3. As he ties him up, Norton does Ali on the ropes, and the referee, Frank Rustage, puts them apart.
At one point, he's complained to Frank Rustage that Ali's not fighting, that he's moving around.
Less than 5 seconds now coming up, and round 3 is history. As Ken Norton comes out to meet Ali in the center of the ring for round 4 from the San Diego Sports Arena, Ferdy.
Kenny Norton filled with a new desire and fueled with a new confidence. He's got Ali running in front of him. No one can figure out why, but Kenny doesn't care why. He just knows that he's running away from him, possibly intimidated by his punching power. Ali, on the other hand, knows he's got to stop this early because he's not going to be able to continue with the pain in the jaw that he feels. In that corner, there's a great deal of consternation, a great deal of concern for Ali, who is not a fighter who complains and who is a fighter who's got all kind of courage to accept pain. Still in all, Drew Boudini Brown, Youngblood, Saria, Angelo Dundee, we're all concerned that he doesn't have to take this kind of punishment.
A good right there. That's punishment. And Norton continuing to go downstairs, upstairs, whatever he can.
And Ali giving the version of the rope-a-dope to San Diego rope-a-dope here. He's standing still. He's catching most of those punches on the shoulder and gloves. It's not hurting Ali. Ali is waiting until Norton gets tired. But Norton, with that tremendous physical ability and the tremendous body he's got, is not getting tired. He's just coming on fueled by energy, derived from seeing Ali run.
We're in round 4. It is scheduled for 12, and they have billed it as a North American Heavyweight Championship, which I think is probably the furthest thing from Ali's thoughts at this time.
Ali's come down from that dancing. You cannot float like a butterfly through 10 full rounds here.
You can, but you will not sting like a bee.
Yes. Look at the relentless pressure on Norton. Norton standing right in front of him. He doesn't want to go back. He wants to come forward punching.
Frank Rustage is the referee, and he's had very little to do up to this point. between these two heavyweight gladiators.
Ali toying with him, Ali playing with him, trying to get his mind off of, putting his gloves on top of his head, doing things he did to Sonny Liston, but Norton's not going for any of that jive. He's listened to Frazier, who's told him, don't listen to Ali, don't play with Ali, just stay right on him. And he's fighting a Joe Frazier fight. It looks like the first Frazier-Ali fight where they stood toe-to-toe for almost 15 rounds, because Norton is not going to be fooled. He knows something is wrong with Ali, and he's trying to take advantage of it.
Well, Norton continuing to score, and whether or not there is really serious, there is serious damage to the chin of and the jaw of Ali. Norton continues to bang at him, and the game ex-champion is still hanging right in there.
And he's taking an awful lot of right hands right on that jaw.
And then waving Norton to come in as we move within 20 seconds now, round 4. Well, Ali pounding away at the head of Ken Norton, standing flat-footed. Norton right in front of him. Norton sticking out his left as round 4 comes to an end.
Purely with a towel. He's not wiping him down with a great deal of force. Look at Ali tilt his head over. He doesn't want to have that side of the jaw touched because it's hurting. He can move it with his tongue. I can move it with my hand. There's no doubt there's a fracture of the jaw, but Ali does not want this stopped. Ali wants this to continue. Ali wants another round, and there's no reason not to give it to him. And round 5 begins. Let's see how Ali can handle the ever-pressing Ken Norton.
Pretty well between rounds. It's an obvious concern on Bundini and Angelo and yourself. Was there any more conversation coming from him as we look at Norton pursuing Ali and really scoring here with rights and lefts, upstairs and downstairs?
With a great deal of concern on our part, we felt that it can be stopped at any moment because he has a fractured jaw. He, Muhammad Ali, will not accept defeat from a 5-to-1 underdog and go down in the record books as a TKO and short-circuit his chance of the title. He feels he can knock out Ken Norton. Ken Norton is coming on. He's getting careless. He's getting reckless. Ali feels he can put that right hand in. Let's see if he can stop Ken Norton.
Well, there he is. He's trying to. He's snapping rights at him, but Ken Norton is standing right in front, still crouched over, the right foot planted, still trying to ward off that effective left jab of Ali. Of course, Ali, not many knockouts to his great career, but not a devastating puncher. I wouldn't say he's a one-punch fighter anyway. He usually beats you in combinations, sets you up with a jab, works to the body.
You must remember, Ali is a combination puncher. You must remember one fact that most people don't realize. It almost hurts as much to throw a punch as to take a punch when your jaw is broken. Anytime you connect solidly, you can feel it right on your jaw. That searing pain that Ali's in right now, but you can't see it from his face. He's masking it. He's fighting good. He leans away from those right hands because it's hurting every time he gets hit. On the other hand, the way Ken Norton is leaning over, you can't hit him good with the right hand. You can't knock him out. So Ali is faced with the prospect of having to blend combinations on this relentless and ever-pressing Ken Norton. It's not easy.
One thing is very obvious here. This Ali is this is supposedly a tune-up so he can regain the title now, and he obviously has injury, and I would think he's flirting with a really serious injury, perhaps his career continuing a fight with a broken jaw.
Of course, that was the biggest problem in the corner when that happens, is how far can you let it go? How far can you let it go? It's not endangering his life. It's not endangering him as far as permanent disability is concerned. It's just up to the fighter because the pain is so intense that he should quit. But Muhammad Ali has absolutely no quit in him, and he has never been known to shy away from a contest, and he's in one tonight.
Well, he also has an ego, and it would be humiliating should he not come out and sit in his stool. Perhaps because you got to remember, as he takes more punches from Ken Norton, 1-2, Norton missing over the right hand as we go under 20 seconds, that Ali has been a champion, and champions don't sit down, and obviously the hometown crowd